Hey everyone, it's Lexi. So in today's video, I'm going to be sharing with you all the books that I ended up reading this month. So I had planned on reading a lot of books this month just because I was done with midterm so I can enjoy myself. But I actually read fewer books this month than I did in October when I had exams, but I think it was probably just because I was exhausted. And I prefer to watch, like, when I'm like really tired, I prefer to watch like a TV show or something. So yeah, I will be having a kind of movie and TV show wrap up that'll be up on Wednesday, so keep your eyes peeled for that. And I'm also doing Vlogmas this year as well, so I will link it down to my vlog channel so you can subscribe to that, so you can go check that out. This video will probably be up. It's going to be up in December, so that works out, so you can go check that out. There'll be a couple days up already, so you can see what I'll be doing this month, and it's my birthday week when this will be up as well, which is exciting. I'm going to be 23 on the 8th, so yeah, just without further ado, let's get started. So the first book that I ended up reading this month was the Tales and Teacups book club pick for the month of November, and it was Quiet by Susan Cain, and basically this is a book that talks about the power of being an introvert. So society is set up in a way that is kind of more gives people that are extroverts better, like are more likely to succeed in that environment. So this book was really interesting, especially because I had a lot of things going on with school, with this one professor, just with what she was saying about me and just how I'm too soft-spoken and all that. And you can see I tabbed up a lot of this book. I have like my full review of it that I'll link down below, and it'll be up in the cards if you've probably already seen. But this book was just amazing. I think I read this at the perfect time, just when, like, because there's so much going on, and I've never been so moved by a book that was nonfiction. That I felt like there was a lot of aspects where I was like, oh my goodness, that's me, like that is me too, like a T. And it made me feel a lot better and more self-confident about myself, and just how even like people say you're soft-spoken as if it's a bad thing, and now I don't see that as something that's bad. In fact, I see it's more of something as a power. So this is like the equivalent of my Bible. Like, it was just like, I'm gonna be referring to this for probably the rest of my life, and I just learned so much. And there's so many things in here that, like, I don't know, I felt very impacted by. So if you are quiet and are like introverted, I think this is a really good book for you. It's just to kind of, as a self-discovery and kind of showing the powers of being quiet and like being a thinker. And I think if you're an extrovert too, this is a good book to read as well, because it does kind of make you aware of how you come off to people. So I think this book was just amazing. It was a solid 5 out of 5 stars. So next, this was a book that I was really excited to read, and it was Dead Stop by Barbara Nicholas. This is the second book in the Sydney Rose Parnell series, and I read the first book, Blood on the Tracks, over the summer, and it was really good. So I was really excited that this book came out in October, so I had to pick it up. But basically, I don't want to just kind of give you a background of the series in general. It follows Sydney, who is a cop for the railroads, and she is an ex-Marine. She just came back from Iraq a couple years ago. She was part of the mortuary affair, so basically when someone died, like, she and her team would go out and kind of do like the autopsy, if you will. But while she was there were some other things going on that's kind of a part of a bigger plot overall that's going to probably be overarching in the next couple books or so. So I won't spoil that, but basically what is unique about her is that she has a sidekick, a canine sidekick named Clyde, and I really like that as well. I thought that was just really unique and different, who was with her in Afghanistan, and his owner was someone that she loved that died over there. So it's really interesting. This book does a really good job. The first two books did a really good job at shedding light on PTSD and just how there's not a lot of resources out there for people with this coming back from war. And it's just a really interesting premise. I really enjoy it. Sydney is such a dynamic character, and just seeing her grow and develop over the first two books. So if you're looking for a new kind of murder mystery series, this one is something that I highly recommend. There's only 2 books out, so it doesn't take long for you to be caught up. And then also this one follows where this family that is connected to the railroad owners family has been murdered. Basically, the wife and the 2 twin brothers have been killed. The dad's in critical condition in the hospital, and then their youngest daughter is missing. So this book is basically like the first 48 hours, and it's so intense. I loved it. For the last like 100 pages or so, I could not put it down. This again was a 5 out of 5 stars for me. It was just so good, and I cannot recommend this series anymore. And finally, the last book that I read this month was Into the Bright Unknown by Ray Carson, and this is the third and final book to the Gold Seer trilogy. So I won't spoil much of this plot, basically what this one is, because it will be spoilery, but basically it takes place during the gold rush, kind of in the mid 1800s in the US, and it follows a girl named Lee who has this kind of ability to sense gold in the ground. So obviously during the gold rush, this is a really big problem, just because like that makes her a very big target. So when her parents are brutally murdered, she ends up going on a cross-country trip. She disguises herself as a boy to get to California, and then this is the concluding novel. So overall, this series is a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. This one again was like the same with the other two books. Like it's unique and enjoyable, but it's not the best. Like it's not groundbreaking in any way. I do find the premise of how it intertwines kind of the fantastical elements into kind of a historical setting. She does a really good job of, she doesn't really sugarcoat a lot of the issues that were going on, especially the treatment with Native Americans and just kind of the racism that was going on. I think she does a good job at showcasing that. Again, I think part of it is just, problem was that I never felt like any of the characters were really in any danger per se. Like I felt like, I don't know, I felt like it could have gone a little bit deeper in that, but again, this is YA and I don't technically read a lot of YA, so I'm used to things kind of being a little bit darker. But overall, this is a solid, just fun series. I think if you are thinking of reading this, don't like think of it as anything that's going to be like brand new, like shocking. It's just a fun ride, and I think it's really unique compared to the other fantasies out there because of its historical elements. So yeah, it's a solid 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. That's it, guys. I hope you enjoyed this video. Let me know in the comments below what you think about this book or any of the books that I've read here, and if you've read any of them, please let me know. And please don't forget to subscribe to my vlog channel so you can kind of see what I will be doing this month. So yeah, don't forget to give this video a thumbs up, and I will see you guys next time. Bye, guys!